we received notice today that our friend Bob Jacobson's daughter, Kaylee, was shot to death last night. She was separating from her husband. A friend was over at the house, and it looks like her husband or ex-husband, I don't know all the details, came over and shot her and her other friend, and then shot himself. He lived. He's in the hospital now, although it's not certain that he'll survive. But Bob's daughter was 34, 3 little daughters, 3 little kids. Yeah, I met Kaylee when she was just a little kid when I first went to Missoula in the 80s. I hadn't seen her in many years, but, you know, Bob is an old friend of the Abbey, and I've known him for many years. So, you know, I called there and talked to Bill, our mutual friend, who is also in shock. I mean, the whole community is in shock. And Bill was commenting on how he had heard last night that there was somebody was killed on Brook Street, which was a nice neighborhood, and how he felt about it then. And he was doing prayers for whoever it was who had gotten killed. And then when he found out today that it was, you know, his friend's daughter, you know, how it shifts, you know, when you actually know the person from when it's somebody that you don't know. Yeah, so we've been talking about gun laws at the Abbey for a long time, so here is one more instance of why they're important. Because in emotional situations like a divorce, you know, emotions come on very strong. People can't control themselves. If a weapon is available, they very easily use it. If a weapon is not available, then they can't use it. Yeah. So I don't agree with Mr. LaPierre, the president of the NRA, that guns don't kill people, only people kill people. Because if guns don't kill people, then, you know, as Nicholas Kristof said, the army would give everybody forks. Yeah. So, you know, it's a tragic situation, but one that, you know, when I talked to Bill, I was saying really use your practice for this, you know, to think about impermanence and death and how we don't know when we're going to die, to think about the disadvantages of attachment, yeah, to think about the renunciation of cyclic existence, the determination to be free, because this kind of suffering is so, it's classic samsaric suffering, isn't it? Yeah. And then also to think about compassion, you know, not only compassion for Kaylee and her friend who were murdered, but compassion for the man who did it, who was clearly in so much emotional pain and stress that in his confused state of mind he thought that killing her and killing himself would alleviate his own pain. So that kind of, you know, gross confusion is definitely something worthy of compassion. Yeah, so to take this all into our practice and you know, and then to send Kaylee and her friend on, you know, with our loving thoughts. And what I was thinking of so much, you know, because she wasn't a Buddhist, but I mean, she saw the relics when they were there, and with Bob as a father, obviously she had some exposure to Buddhism. So she has some seeds planted in her mind. But, you know, in an unexpected or traumatic death like that, it seems to me the main thing, is just to let go and to not cling. In any death that's important, but especially when you're not expecting to die, and then just to let go, to don't cling, not be attached to anything from this life, and somehow conjure up, whatever love and compassion you have, and have a strong aspiration to go into your next life and make that love and compassion manifest, whatever you are born as, in whatever environment you're in. So, may we pray for that for Kaylee, and then also for Bob and Kathy, her parents, for the 3 little girls, for everybody else involved in it, that everybody can really take this and put it as part of their Dharma practice, so that, it gives meaning to something that otherwise would be meaningless. Okay, so Bob wrote, and he said he's really doing medicine, Buddha practice, and King of Prayers now, that those are the 2 things that are important, that he's just holding on to, and how important love and compassion are right now. He said he may call in a few days, but right now he's just digesting what happens, I suppose. Having your daughter here one day and then not here the next day.